Welcome to episode 5 of Hanging Cable South Africa with myself, Keith Witter, Cliffy Ogle. Welcome to Raceday.tv. As you see in between of us, 3 beautiful young gentlemen. Welcome, guys.
How's it going, bud?
Good. Cliffy, who are these beautiful men?
So we've got the brothers in racing. So we've got Keith, Brad with the magnificent hair, and then Jordan on the end there. And they're in here to talk today about brothers in racing, their journey in the ZX10 Cup, and their plans for the season. So we're quite excited to talk to these young chaps.
And also Bridgestone Challenge for you, young Brad.
Yeah, very keen. Loving the 600 series so far.
Good. Right, guys, we're kicking off the show. Cliffy, I'm going to leave it to you. Guys back at home, if you want to follow us, watch on Facebook, do a watch party. If you don't have Facebook, get a link. We'll put it up on all the bike groups now. Share it for YouTube. You can watch it at home on your TV on HD.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also, we're running that Subaru competition where we're going to be following the MotoGP season. So guys, check it out. It's Hanging Cable SA. The password is PackFigs. So yeah, get on there. Let's get the invitations going so we can see who knows their stuff and who can back it up. Although, I don't know how you guys feel, but devastating. I feel like Dorren got our hopes up and then took a dump all over it.
That was horrible, man.
So we don't even know when it's going to start now. This is quite sad. So Qatar's out and Thailand's postponed. But how awesome was the racing this weekend at Phillip Island? Brad, thoughts?
I actually missed it, but
Use the microphone to someone who did it.
But like it was good to see proper racing. I mean, the field is still small in World Superbikes, but proper racing. It came down to the line. 4 bikes in contention. It's great to see, and I'm hoping that we're gonna have that with you guys next weekend when you guys go ZX10 Cup racing. Jordan, I believe you've just had the ECUs flashed. Finally, the mapping is on. So when are we going testing?
Yeah, so we just got the bikes back now. Actually, we go out tomorrow. We're going to go back to SWAT Course. We've just ridden the bikes here recently. We haven't ridden since the race. So what we're going to do is we go out, we'll test the bikes. We know what they were. We'll see what they're at tomorrow. Apparently 3 different maps to ride from. You got the stock map, you got the coastal map, and then the written map. So yeah, we'll go test them, see how it is. Just go have some fun. It's at the racetrack. We should have a good time anyway.
So what model are you guys running this year?
Keith and I are both on the 2012s,
okay,
yeah.
So
yeah, it's the Gen 4s. Yeah, I mean, for us, horsepower is always there now because from the Hondas coming to the ZX10s, I mean, it makes a lot, and with the electronics, everything's new to us, so we're still having fun with it. So I don't think we'll have too much issue with the ECU. We'll go check it out. We'll only be able to say for sure tomorrow, once we've had some time on the bikes.
Awesome.
How much time are you planning to have to set the bikes up before you go racing next weekend?
Well, it's very much like, tomorrow, it's very much like the first race. We decided, I think the Thursday before the race meeting, a sponsor came through. He said to us, he phoned me, he says, okay, cool, we can go racing. He has a little bit of money. So Keith and I was away for the week with Brad for work, and Keith ran around he just dropped a whole bunch of suspension bits at Wayne Shelley. Thanks to him, he did it in like a day for us. We built the bike the day before. We didn't get to practice or anything on the Thursday. We literally went straight out on the Sunday warm up, and it was the first time we felt the bikes.
So in between races, you guys ran top 5. I mean, you obviously had an unfortunate crash, but you guys were in the top 3 in podium contention, both of you, and you guys really came strong at the end. How much tinkering are you guys doing between Friday practice to the race and stuff like that? Are you guys doing it yourself, or do you have someone that's backing you up in the pits?
Well, like I said, we haven't had the chance to do Friday practice yet, and we won't next week either because I'm away for Graph for the week as well. So it's literally rock up and ride again Saturday morning. And going back to Keith, I mean, he was flying. He actually passed me. Unluckily, he went down in turn 5 right in front of me. I saw it all. And I was like, shit, sorry about that. But I was just like, yeah, sure. But that was unlucky, and he was really riding hard. I'm sure you'll even tell. That's his side of it.
Yeah. Keith, first round, and then a bit of you came like a champion, and then a bit of egg on your face. What happened, bud?
First round, loving the championship, by the way. It's nice to be riding bikes that are all basically even. Yeah, we do have different year models, but back to the ECU flashing, we did get it done. We tested on the dyno between the standard map and the map that they put on, and there wasn't much difference, so we can't really complain at all. The testing will tell tomorrow. Just excited to get back on the bike tomorrow and play with a bit of tyre pressures and some suspension setup.
What do you think of the i11s now? Because you guys used to, you were on a Honda before, and you guys were in the Bridgestone Challenge, and you did a bit of Monocle as well, if I'm correct. But now you guys are set on the i11, so you've got to make it work for yourself. What did you think your first time out? Like you said, you didn't have time to practice, so you went out cold, brand new tires, brand new bike, set up everything. What did you think of the i11s?
Well, first of all, I know that they last very nicely, you know, because I tend to, especially in warm-up, get carried away with myself and end up doing way too many laps. And so I did about 12 laps in warm-up, and then went out, qualified, got a bit stuck by myself. I had no one to chase, but ended up doing 8 laps. So all in all, I probably did close to about 40 laps, including warm-up and everything. So they do last nicely. Just find that you must run that front tire a little bit harder for more front-end feel. But no complaints for now.
It's too late for that now. He just said don't give secrets away. So sorry about that. Harder front end apparently.
So like to get into it now, because you guys call yourself brothers in racing, and it's a lot deeper than just 3 brothers rocking up the track and racing. What's the whole thing behind it? Because I know you guys have said to me on a lot of occasions, come out and ride, we'll help you get your bike set up, go fast and stuff like that. Is that something that you guys just do for yourselves and friends, or are you guys open to helping anyone and just trying to get the field to go generally faster?
Look, we really don't mind helping people out. Brothers in racing, it's the 3 of us, but you know, everybody that's there is a brother or even a sister. You know, there's ladies out there that are doing very well, so they are sisters in racing. But we literally don't mind helping anyone. If you want to do a track day, let us know. We'll let you know when we're there, and we can help you out.
That's nice. Yeah, jump in there, bud.
Grab it. Brad's just sitting in the middle of the ground.
You'll get your chance.
Luckily, he brought his magnificent hair with him. So
It's just your box, bro.
I won't be long. You'll have a go.
Distract from the bad camera presence.
Brothers in Racing as well, you know, it's really just a social media platform. You know, everybody that wants to join us, you come riding with us, you jump on it, it helps. Like what you guys are doing, it's just trying to get a platform for sponsorships, for, you know, riders getting a little bit more out there.
Yeah.
And it's really, you know, it started as us, but if anybody wants to take part, come join with us. We go and, you know, we always go have a good time at the racetrack. So jump on the bandwagon. I mean, we have Sean from Mark on it now. He was like, no, he loves the concept. You know, he joined it. Byron Rothwell and Slacky, they just like the idea, you know. So they're like, give us some stickers, we run with it. I said, you know, after race day, give us a little breakdown of how your race went. We put it on the page, and you know, people get to read about it. It makes it short and sweet and interesting. So it's cool.
Look, I mean, this is the thing. Media as a whole needs to be grown in the sport. I mean, we've taken initiative. You guys have taken initiative. That one's been doing initiatives for years now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's recently started
with the race cards and everything.
I mean, that's such a good
awesome,
thing.
yeah.
And I think, once again, for your viewers out there, if you want to be in touch, want to get in touch with people in the sport, this is the platform and the people to speak to. So, I mean, where can they get a hold of you and get in touch with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, that's the beautiful thing. Facebook, you know, it's very easy. Drop us a message. You know, a lot of people have a contacts or whatever. Drop us a message. Let's meet up, come to a racetrack with us. Let's go have a good time, you know. And then if there is something, I mean, you know, we're not the fastest guys out there. There's a lot more, you know, a lot faster guys.
Crap. They're definitely in the top 5 of fastest people around.
But you have to shot for that. I don't think so. But thank you very much. But I mean, you know, if we can help, I mean, that I was saying to Cliffy, there's 1 or 2 things, you know, I could just see with his bike. It's like, just try it. You know, we went through it. We spend the money on the tires. Just make some shortcuts, you know, help the guys out where we know where, as far as our knowledge goes, you know what I mean? So that's the idea of Brothers in Racing. We just want to get a good group of people together.
If you're starting out, we don't mind. We won't hesitate to help you out, whether it comes to who we can point you in the direction with suspension or fairings. If you want to turn your street bike into a race bike, we can always help you out. Come say hazard to us in the pits even, and if we do well, we'll spoil ourselves with a beer afterwards, and you can even have one of those with us.
I'll be there for that if you need to know.
So
talking
talking about like young guys coming through, so you're the youngest here.
Yeah.
So tell me how this has worked for you, because you're the longest,
Yeah.
with the greatest hair. So
I've seen it.
You're racing 600s now in challenge. I mean, you gave me a hiding 2 weeks ago, whatever. Talk to us about now coming up into challenge. How long have you been racing?
Fully, probably only about like 2 years now. Been loving every minute of it though. But I've probably been riding all around for like 5 years.
Okay.
And now we like got onto the 600 a little while ago now, I guess. But
Mm.
so my little old
You're
lady,
very
we're loving it.
impressive with that 600. I raced
Thank you.
against you, I think, 2 or 3 times at the end of last year.
Yeah, that's
And-
when we started taking it a bit more seriously and like making.
Yeah, no, you
some
definitely
races
took
in
it a
there.
bit more serious. There you go. You just, you should taught us a lesson on that track.
2003, yeah?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
Old spec.
It was the
R6.
battle of the retro bikes, the 600s.
Yeah,
telescopic forks on it.
I think a few more years it's a classic bike. And then
I'm
in
waiting
a
for
different
my
class.
CBR 600 so I can just take it into the classics class, to be honest.
Hopefully soon, if Honda is starting to come to the party when it comes to racing, they'd be interested in sponsoring Brad a little 600.
There's an interesting
I would
rumor
say
I've
no.
been hearing about Honda South
Yeah,
Africa.
that's like
There's a few. I mean, I don't know as much as most, I'm sure, but there's been a few rumors that there's a few bikes coming into play. I know. I'm not sure about the 2020 yet.
Honda hit me up.
I hear
There's
that
rumors for SBK.
I saw pictures that it's here, that they've got it already.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in the flesh,
things, yeah.
but it's,
Saw
I'm
it, yeah.
intrigued to see whether or not there is actually one floating around
Yeah.
in South
Sean
Africa.
from Mark's actually watching. If you have any information, maybe you should send us a text on the comments box below. And the rest of you out there, also feel free to ask any of these guys questions, do remarks, comments, keep them positive. But yeah, if you want to chat with them. Do you guys want to just briefly talk about the challenge again? Because now we know there's a 1000cc and a 600 class. Do you prefer staying in the 600 class? And if so, why?
I think so because I didn't love it when they divided it so many times with like A, B, and C.
Sure.
Because it felt like sometimes I could run away with a trophy where I didn't feel like I deserved it.
Yeah.
But now it feels a lot more like I'm fighting for like a championship now with the 600s. It wasn't like I was versing a bunch of thousands, like just in like the sea of them. So I think I prefer it at the moment. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I think there's a good pack in the Bridgestone Challenge in the 600 class. We've got Zadie in there, we've got Harry Potgieter in there, we've got Christy Marie.
Yeah.
Savannah.
We've got Savannah in
Martin Wild looks like he wants to follow the rest of it. and
there. Martin Wild came back from his big crash on the Friday
on the 600,
on the
yeah.
600 and came back.
Put some good racing together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
did.
yeah.
that's a good confidence boost. I think. If
Was
you can recover-
Tyrese Roberts also not racing in that race? I
He
think
was
was.
doing
Did.
very well on
The first
22
race, his
bike.
bike cut out.
Okay,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
he was also
first
going
race.
pretty well. Yeah,
Yeah.
so he actually did quite well. So
He
you see,
was.
there's already a few 600s. Maybe you as well. Join the challenge for a couple of races.
Yes, we're
And
missing.
then we've got
I
at
might.
least five
I
or
feel
six.
very
Yeah.
uncompetitive at this point, but I think it's just the setup of the bike and
Yeah.
probably rider's skills.
But I'm enjoying it. It feels like we got quite
I'll
a close.
stick with the Zontes 310 at the moment. I'm loving that bike.
It's cool, eh?
Yeah,
That's
that
great.
was really
That's
good.
great, eh?
We're actually getting, after this, we're also going to speak to the front runner and factory rider from the Zontes, Mr. Aitken 26.
Yeah.
He's coming in later in the show. But we have to get to some business. We're here to speak about product, sponsors. Aside from racing, what do you do to keep the dream going?
Well, yeah, we the three of us, we started up Break Late, and it's picking up nice. It's getting some good momentum. We got the likes of AJ Fenter running on it, and he was actually blown away. He's like, geez, he couldn't believe how good the product was, you know. So we gave him a couple of sets of brake pads to give us some feedback. Eventually saying to me, listen, will we run him for the year? Like he like whether we on board fully or whether he pays for the product. He says he needs to run it. He wants to run it. So we got a lot of feedback, and the more momentum it's getting, and there's more shops that are just wanting to move it. The guys from GFP, they contacted me. They said, like, listen, can we start looking at doing the product? And it's cool. I mean, we're not trying to, we want to get the product out there. We're not trying to make money out of 10 people. We want to make small amounts out of a lot of people, and then it's not such an impact, because the price of brake discs and stuff that we are doing now, as soon as I saw what the competition was, I was like, there's definitely a gap in it, and like the performance of it, we're really, really happy. There's a lot of guys riding on it at the moment, so and they look really cool. You can see them in the front there. So hit us up.
It's our display table.
There we go. It looks brilliant. Let us know if you're interested in the product. I mean, AJ is moving it out of his shop. He's giving really good prices out of it. Westside's been now also, starting to move this
That's
stuff
very
in.
nice. You see, this is the brothers in racing. This kind of all comes together.
Yeah.
It's people within the industry and the community helping each other kind of indirectly helping with funding on other teams because they're taking on products, supplying their merchandise.
That's it. And I mean, Byron, like he saw the discs from Mag Magic and he's like, but they look awesome. Let's make the rooms look cool. So he went and painted our rooms for us to really make it stand out. So I mean, you know, they're doing their bit. He's also always helpful. You know, I send a lot of work his way, and I think that's the way the racing should be. You know, let's all just help each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, we had a meeting. So we had a Superbike Bridgestone Challenge and ZX10. It wasn't ZX10.
No,
Zontes. So we had a big meeting and stuff, and we also just wanted a big shout out to the wellness group and Wayne for coming on board the way you have and kind of pulling in and funding a lot of the TV programs. So shout out to you guys.
The race licenses as well.
And the race licenses. So wellness group's really doing a big effort in supporting local racing. So if you want to get involved, please get in touch with us or any of the other people you see in front of this camera. We'll definitely sort you out and get a return on investment, I'm sure.
Now, Wayne Spicer is doing a very good thing.
Yeah, it's a big shout out to him. I think we need to hype up these people that contribute.
Oh, yes.
I'm coming to your golf day. I won't be playing. I can't be playing, unfortunately, but I'll pop in and come and have a beer.
See me on a golf course.
Absolutely. I love golf days, but for all the post-golf games.
Let us know if you want to come to the golf day, but also one of the most important sponsors is Ridgeway's Race Bar. You can come and meet up there for a bit of a lunch with us. Let us know on the Facebook page, or even they've supported us. Big thanks to Grant Brookfield. He helps us out so much.
We bought two, and he's bought one of my Hondas back to put back on display.
What a legend!
You can see it there now.
I saw it. That was that thing. He was
it's a Honda that's in a little shopping basket in bits and pieces.
No, not that bad. Yeah, so big. I don't have the marks. So I don't know if anyone hears, but yeah, big thanks to Ridgeway.
Sean from Mark actually said we should get more marks. I also need a sponsor for microphones, but if you want to get involved,
we'll put a brake light stick on it.
Brake light sticker and a nice Raceday sticker.
So tell me, Jordan, this brake light products that you're selling now, is it just this, or are you doing pads as well? Is it for any make or model bike, or how does it work?
But you know what? It's been the opening. You know, the brake pads is what we started moving. Then the discs got a lot of interest. Now we're doing all sorts of things. We can do clutches, aftermarket. We do the stock stuff as well, stock version stuff. We do the brake lines. And then, you know, just from a lot of guys, you know, they like to do things under one roof. So they say to me, listen, I need a set of brake disc, brake pads, but I'm looking for wheels as well, or like secondhand stuff. Like, I'll just help them, you know, either point them in the right direction, or I'll say to them, like, listen, I can source it for you. And then we can just, you know, the guys like to go to one supplier and say to him, listen, I need to do a bunch of things. How can you help me? So, yeah, I mean, if you've got queries on other stuff, you know, we've found ECUs, we found second-hand wiring harnesses, you know, just to source the stuff, because we obviously, not just everybody knows where to go with it. You know, we've been in it for a bit now, so we've got a few people that can supply us stuff.
The connections and the network.
And the people love it. That's what they love. You know, it's not like, sorry, I can't do it, and leave it at that.
Scenario. I feel the community needs to trust each other with products they're buying. You know, you're putting your life at risk every time you go out on track. You need to know the stock and the parts you're buying are quality. And
100%.
Sure. For those guys that are having brake fade, give us a shot. Try it out. We'll definitely not disappoint you.
And also we do anything from the just road pads to the intermediate pads to full race pads.
So anyone that's with a road bike, they can come and contact you guys. So it's not just for racing guys. It's anyone that's got a motorcycle. Get in touch.
Performance stuff as well, car performance stuff all over. But we talk about motorbikes tonight, where we actually
100%. Fair enough. But yeah, good to know, because I mean there are guys that race on weekends, but then also commute on bikes and stuff like that. And I mean, if you're doing all of it, that's perfect. It's all under one umbrella.
Cost-effective things. You know, just for the guy that commutes, he wants to throw a set of brake pads at his bike because he knows they're running thin. You know, we don't go the stupid expensive race stuff. We can go you can go very competitive road riding.
Yeah, because it's a whole different ball game altogether.
Yeah, that's exactly it,
Okay, very nice.
Well, Cliffy, it's almost time to get these guys out of here and then also get the new guest in, which is an international fella. Been spending a lot of time overseas in the last couple of years, so that's a good one. Yeah. Guys, just a shout out for you guys out there. We just got a message from Honda South Africa and Sean from Mark as their representative. The new 2020 models, the SP and the standard models, will be at Swartkorp Raceway next week, Saturday on the 14th, where we'll see the national SPK guys.
That's awesome.
Going head to head, and Sean's in there. But Honda's going to have the bikes on display, so make your way to track if you're not there for racing already. The national guys are going to have a big dig dong, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And you guys on the ZX10 Cup's going to
Well, we hope so. You know, everybody on the grid always wants to get close to the front, you know, but that's the aim. We want to get closer, close the gaps, and obviously put a good race together. We all line up there hoping that we're the guy that finishes first, you know.
Ruffle some feathers.
That's it, we try.
I love that.
Yeah.
Everyone's been commenting on the beard because apparently it will give me 3
No, it
seconds
looks great.
off
No,
my
you got
time.
to keep it. It's behind the
It's
windscreen
5 years
anyway.
old today, by the way. I stopped shaving it on my son's birthday.
I was gonna say,
It's fair. You
your son
can,
also
dude.
does
Maybe
that.
after the show.
I feel like we should have a cake and some candles.
We
Yeah,
started
no,
that when
lovely.
we started racing because
Yeah, actually,
Different times, different speed in our lives, clearly. Guys, we actually saw them last time on track we saw this man on track at Red Star. We also did a nice clip for Red Star, so have a look at that after the break. We won't see these beautiful gentlemen. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
You guys are legends. Thanks for the show.
thank
You
you.
can leave our beautiful shirt there. Keith and Keith. Cheers.
Cheers, my bud.
So yeah, if there's any more questions for these guys coming up, if you want to leave a message, send something to Cliffy. He's definitely going to be boosting the, what do we call that again? Your Super Brew.
Yeah, super.
What's the
come,
group?
guys. It's hanging cable SA, and then like I said, the password is PackFigs.
Perfect.
Pack
So
Figs.
we'll put a link in this message box, and then also not to forget, we've got a Raceday Best Picture competition still running. If you're a photographer or a friend of a photographer, or you're a superbike racer with the Raceday sticker on your bike, and there's a picture, send it to us. Tag the racer, tag the photographer, tag Raceday.tv. Stand in line to win 1,500 Rand for the photographer and each racer in the picture sporting our Raceday stickers.
Very nice.
Cool. Huh?
Can I say one quick thing?
You live on air, you might as well.
Let's go. Yeah, just a big thanks to our friends, family, and our wives that are always out there sponsoring us. I mean, we
Absolutely.
always have no less than 15, 20 of our friends and family there, always supporting us. So it's a huge thanks to them as well, because it's their time. They put a lot of effort into it behind the scenes as well. So, and yeah, once again to the wives. Yeah,
Thanks to you guys.
yeah, it's shot for the opportunity, gents.
Awesome.
And very
Yeah,
impressed. It's done how well it's done. It's like, you know, it's
We
a
tried.
breath of
We're
fresh air.
getting there.
I haven't
Hey,
listened to the
Cliffy?
episode. I gotta-
Side guns.
He doesn't catch a
Every
World
Tuesday.
Superbikes. He catches
That's
race
what we
day
like to
instead.
hear. That's what we like
That
to
makes
hear.
me very happy.
That's it, yeah.
No, that's 100%, guys. So after this little video clip after the break, we'll catch you with a new guest in studio. Thanks for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And get those questions and comments, and we'll definitely address them as soon as we can. Lovely stuff. We'll see you guys next one.
Thanks, my man.
Shot. Thanks,
Cheers.
gents.
Cheers, brother.
That's amazing. I am running late the whole day today. So welcome back to Raceday.tv on Hanging Cable South Africa with myself, Keith Butter, and Cliffy Ogle, and this special man in gear.
How's it, boys?
Who are you and what are you doing here?
I don't actually know, eh?
You're here to answer some difficult questions.
I guess so. Not too difficult, hopefully.
No. Cliffy, I'm going to leave you to speak to this nice man.
Yeah, so
I'll tend to the people at home.
let's get stuck in straight away. So the plan is this year again, you're going overseas World Supersport 300. This is the third year, hey?
This is my fourth year.
Fourth year,
Fourth year in the World Supersport 300 class.
So tell me, because we all, like all racers, we all dream about this sort of thing, like racing overseas. That's the dream right there. How does one start with the whole process now? Because 4 years ago, how did you decide I want to go racing overseas, and how did it happen? Because it's for me, if I just think about it, I have no idea where to start. So how did it happen for you?
So for me, I was really, really lucky because there was this class called European Junior Cup
Okay.
where all the bikes were identical and they were Honda 650s.
Okay.
And you basically did a little Rookies Cup type of trial thing,
Alright.
but you also had to pay a little bit to enter the race.
Okay.
And then I just started doing races there. And then while I was racing there, I just got some connections and then made it into the World Championship.
Okay.
But from someone now that wants to start racing the World Championship, what I think they would have to do is go into the Spanish Championship or the
Yeah.
Italian Championship and then build up from there. And to start racing there, it isn't very difficult, but you have to have a lot of funding
Okay.
because you have to pay for a ride because they don't know if you can race or not.
So is that how it basically works? Is that you say, I want to go race overseas, they don't come out here for a test. You basically go over there, you pay your money, and they put you on the track, and then if you can crack it, great, it works on for you, and if it doesn't, you come home and you stick to club racing.
Yeah, exactly. It works a lot on luck, you know, because I know of a lot of good riders that haven't made it, and that's just by pure bad luck. You know, like getting the wrong team, the bike breaking, and then getting no results due to that.
Okay.
And then they don't take their career further. But it's really difficult. It's not easy, but it is possible. It is possible. All you have to do really is contact a team, and even you get messages from teams.
Okay.
I know of people here who's raced and who maybe races like, let's say, club championships, who get emails and messages from teams
Okay.
because they want you to pay.
Yeah,
You
so
know what I'm
so there are
saying?
basically scouts out here already having a look and seeing what's on offer here in South Africa. And there is a possibility that if you catch their eye, they might get in contact with you and then say, "Come, let's see what we can do overseas."
100%.
Also, then you come with the funding kind of it. So
Yeah,
it's
you have
two
to-
sides of that blade.
You have to have some type of funding. I mean, the funding we're speaking about is maybe 50,000 euros, 60,000 euros for the season.
Which, if you
And-
didn't know, the exchange rate this week is 17.6 thereof. So do the math. It's quite a bit of money you need.
It's more or less, you know, for the full season, 1.5 million rand
Okay.
if you want to start.
But is that now that 1.5 million rand? Because that's a huge figure. I mean,
Yeah.
people
It's crazy.
they buy a
It's
1.5
crazy.
million rand car and they pay it off over 5 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You now you've got a 1.5 million rand budget. That's just for the bike, eh?
That's for everything.
Okay, so
That's for everything. But certain teams you don't pay for crash damage, and certain teams you pay for crash damage. So that's where the catch-22 comes in.
Yeah, for sure.
Because some teams will charge you maybe like 500,000 rand, let's say,
Okay.
for the bike, the tires, and the transportation, but no crash damage.
Yeah.
Then you crash once, you write the bike off, and then you're anywhere at 1.5 million rand. And then
Yeah.
you want to crash. If you crash again, you got
Yeah.
another issue, you know.
Well, I mean, I heard saying ridiculous last week with Dino and that. He was saying that just that little TFD display on the bike, whatever, if you crash it, it's 6,000 euros?
Yeah,
right?
it's a Medtronic kit that we have now.
Okay.
And that Medtronic kit runs basically the whole bike. It
Okay.
gives you horsepower, it controls how the revs work. And Dorna, the
Governing,
organizer,
yeah.
they decide which bikes get how many revs and things. And that's how they control it.
So how would they decide that?
So, for example, Kawasaki will have now, I think it's 9,000 revs, and its standard is 13 or 14,000 revs.
Okay.
So they do some type of programming that they can put onto the Medtronic, and every Medtronic that goes onto the Kawasaki's is automatically got those revs.
Okay.
And then the Yamaha and the KTM have this exact same thing, but just with different revs limits.
Sure. Okay. So it all comes down to governing and electronics, because I thought like on a 300cc there can't be that many electronics on the bike, but it sounds like there's hundreds.
There's pit limiter. There's a few things, you know. There's not a lot like maybe a World Supersport 600 bike or Moto 2, you know. But there is still a few little things, and often we have electronical issues.
Oh really?
Yeah, we often have electronical issues. Like in Aragon last season, the first race of the year, I had a DNF because there was a problem with my Medtronic.
So now if you turn around, because I mean like, so it's a difficult thing, but now you're paying for your ride, you've got 1.5 million rand down, and now the first race comes up and your bike malfunctions. Is there any sort of recourse against that?
Nah,
Is it just
no,
bad luck?
nothing.
Sorry
Nothing.
for
It's
you.
just bad luck. That's how it goes, you know. So
It's horrendous.
it's a little it's so bad, eh? And you know, like last season I had a really bad season, you know. I had a lot of bad luck. The team did a great job. The team really put a lot of work in for me, you know.
Okay.
But there was non-stop issues. Like for example, the one season or the one race in the season, Assen, my qualifying session was in the snow, and the other qualifying session was in the dry.
Because that's how
And they combined the times. I was like, how do you combine the times when my session's snowing and this session's dry?
that's crazy.
I started like 35th or something. I just made it in. I don't even know how. I got one lap in, and half the lap was wet. And I got that lap in, and I still qualified. And I finished something like 14th. But my pace was strong enough to be in the front.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's just bad luck. It's just how it goes, you know.
But
That's
it's
racing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
exactly.
how it
It's
goes.
just-
You can be in
but
form and in the
you
best
see-
mental state, but if something's not working or the universe just doesn't align,
And there's
you
no
might
choice.
have a wrong day.
But you see, the thing is, we all know about that when we enter.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
like I know that can happen, you know. So you got to take it on the chin and just move on and be positive about
Yeah,
it.
for sure. I mean,
Sure.
if you dwell on it, it's just gonna
Good
eat your
Yeah,
life. Yeah.
Like, you know, last season for me it was probably the worst season I've had. I can't go into this season thinking about last season.
no.
I need to go in there like with a clean mind, think, oh, it can be a good season, you know, no bad luck, and everything that happens, all the bad luck that comes, just like, you know, try and overcome it.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I mean, now you're saying now you just made it into the qualifying there at Assen and that. So, I mean, Dino said last week there's like 60 bikes on the grid, and if you make it, you make it. If you, so I mean, one weekend you can win, and the next weekend you're not
You
on
might
pace,
not
you're
win.
out.
Scott Deroo, in my opinion, is a really strong rider, okay? And in Donington Park, he crashed in the first lap in qualifying in the rain.
Okay.
And because he crashed in the first lap, he started the last chance race. And some wild card from the last chance race took him out. And he didn't get to race. But he had the pace to win.
Yeah, I mean that's
And
That is
you
depressing
know,
if you have to
And
analyze
I'm
it like
sitting
that.
there thinking to myself, you know, like I had a good qualifying, so I wasn't like upset for the oak, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was still thinking, like, you know, if that was me, I wouldn't have been happy.
No, for
Like
sure.
in the draw, I have the pace to win. The race is draw, and because I got taken out by some guy in the last chance
No,
race, I can't
That's
race.
bad luck. Yeah.
You know, so like,
and I mean,
that's
if
the
you
difficult
if you're
part.
not if you don't make it either, then the build is still there for the bike. So it's not like if you don't
everything's
make
still
it,
there.
yeah, that's it.
You get no refund, nothing. You know.
Nothing. Yeah. So it's a big gamble. But let's not dwell on the negative and the hectic stuff that weighs us down. Let's talk about the season now. You said last season was your worst season. You look positive and upbeat. I've seen on your racing page, your Dorren Loureiro Racing Academy, which we'll touch on now. But you've been doing a lot of training and a lot of work on yourself.
Yeah,
What's
a
the
lot.
plans for the year?
So I've been training now harder than I think I've ever trained in my life. I've been putting in a lot of extra work, you know, trying to lose the weight, because last year I think one of my biggest downfalls was being too heavy. You know, I'm maybe 20 kilos heavier than some of the riders.
But you're
20
like a
kilos.
chicken wings with
I-
very jeans on.
And I
I
heard
know,
something
but, you
earlier
know,
about 3 kilos. Are
I
you
have to
still-
lose 3 more kilos from what I am at the moment.
Crazy.
And, you know, and now I've started eating a lot healthier
Okay.
and trying to diet, you know, running a lot, riding a lot.
Fine-tuned athlete.
I'm trying. It's difficult, I won't lie. You know, sometimes McDonald's crosses my mind, eh? But,
Robert Portman asked that I should ask you a question, but I'm not going to ask the question. You can read it online. You want to see that?
let me see what he asks.
Rob,
You're
stop it.
naughty.
Uncle Rob,
Uncle Rob. So we
that's for
also
the
had a-
PG-18 version of tonight.
That's the after hours show.
This is a 7 o'clock show, guys. Keep it
Come
clean.
on, Rob. We'll catch up with Rob from Ride
Uncle
Fast
Rob.
a bit later. Get the new March issue. It's hitting the stores today or tomorrow. It's out there. He's got Mr. Yonkers BMW on the front cover, I saw.
Very
Which
nice.
looks
eh?
very nice.
Proper.
Good pictures again. Oh, there we
There
go.
you go.
There's it.
Look at Henk, eh?
I see that Mr. Yonker is joining us tonight as well. Henk's totally on it.
Henk,
See,
he's
we
on it
actually
tonight.
have people that work here. Look at that. So buy the Ride Fast magazine. We've got a nice video clip coming in from him later.
I have to be honest, you know, the Ride Fast magazine always has such cool articles in it, hey?
Proper, eh?
And, you know, I always buy the new issue and, yeah, I love it so
That's
much.
definitely getting you a sticker on
There's
your
a
bike.
plug, Rob. That's just for you.
Yeah, that's for you. And
Your
also
questions
for
are
the
inappropriate.
GFP boys, they're giving you a big shout.
Alex, my boy.
And Bill, they're saying, how's it?
Dylan.
Okay, so now here's a true question from Mr. Leon Besson.
Yeah.
Your weight. What isn't currently and what is the ideal weight for your race?
So, my weight at the moment is 66. And my team said to me now, I must get to about 63, 62.
So it's a team thing,
But-
eh?
But my team gave me like a thing, and also my dad, you know, we also want to work on my weight.
For sure.
And last season I was close to 70 kilos.
Sure.
So
okay.
I am losing a bit. But, you know, like some of the riders I know that are my height are like 58 kilos.
Oh.
So I need to lose a bit of weight. And I don't know where I've got little body fat, you know, so.
Yeah.
So
But it's all about weight with these small bikes.
It's all about weight. You know, I think it's every 2 kilos is on horsepower.
Already,
Every 2 kilos is more or less a horsepower.
No wonder
So-
Cameron's so fast on those Zontes. I mean, it's
He's
Excuses,
tiny,
yeah.
he's so small.
just a compact racer, that guy.
No, but the weight's a big issue. And also, even though if I lose all my weight, the biggest problem I think is my shoulders. Because I'm quite wide
Keep
compared to
going
the other riders. So even if I'm tucked in, my shoulders still stick out quite a lot.
Okay.
And that slows me down quite a bit. But we just got to work with what we got,
Yeah,
you
you
know.
can't really change
You
that.
can't
You
really
know?
No, I just got to
change
work
that,
with
I
what I got and try my best.
So in terms of now, so when are you going over? So when does the season start for you? Because I know it's soon that you guys start going over. So when do you hit the plains? How much training are you doing before you start racing? How does it work now?
So now I leave on Tuesday. I go to Spain.
Okay.
And then I'll just do some testing with my team, and just some small tests, get to know the team again, fix some things on the bike, suspension, just some small finer details, and then we go racing on the 29th of March.
So it's soon, eh?
In Areth. The first race is Areth, Spain. Looking
That's
forward.
gonna be exciting.
I'm really looking forward to it. Usually that's one of the last races of the year,
Sure.
and now it's it's the first race. So
Yeah, it just flips it on its head.
it's going to be crazy. Now also normally when we go there it's summer. Now when we go into Areth it's winter.
So will that
So
have
It's gonna
any
be
impact?
interesting
Yeah.
on the
I think
tyre
I
selection.
think it's going to be different, and also this season's the first year that our class is running full slicks.
Okay.
Normally we use the Pirelli cut slick,
Yeah.
the Diablo,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and now they've given us full slicks, and no one's really used them yet. So
So it's
when we
levels
get
of
to the
playing
first test, everyone's going to be confused, and
That's
all
good
bikes
though.
gonna
It
change.
gives everyone the same even playing field. It kind of
field.
starts
You're working
up
with the same
season.
team as you had last year, eh?
exact same team.
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to it. The team and me have made big steps in the past. And
So obviously you guys have bonded now, giving feedback to the team, and that it works a lot easier.
yes, 100%. And also me and Uncle Mark Dickinson, one of my crew chief,
Okay.
me and him are very close. We still speak on the daily
Okay.
over the phone, and like all my ideas I come up with, I tell him, and he gives me certain things to train, like what to do when I'm training.
Yeah.
So by the time I go to testing, I already have a base,
Yeah.
and I kind of already have something to work from.
Okay. Well, speaking of training as well, I wanted to jump in on this as well,
Yeah.
because you've done a lot of training in Spain and done a lot of training camps there, and then you decided that you'd bring it over here, and that's where you started the Dorren Loureiro Racing Academy.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, talk to us about that, because I don't know, Keith, have you seen the stuff that these guys do?
I've
on
seen a
small
tiny
bikes?
bit of it.
Hank, have you got a clip there for us? You have to see this, because I did one of these once and made a complete
Did you?
idiot of myself.
you were good. You were
He's
right.
saying that now because I'm saying
You were
it's
right,
point.
you
We
were
need
right.
to take a camera. So can we bring a camera to your training?
Yeah, any
session
day,
when you're
any
back
day.
from your overseas
100% any day,
So-
anytime.
do
So
that.
how does the training camp work? Because now
trip. Here we go. Look at that.
have a look here.
That's little.
And
Tristan
This is
Pino,
just
huh?
this is Tristan Portkita,
Look at that.
and that's on a 65, a Kawasaki, sorry, 65. And at the time he was training with me now. At this time there was like 2 months only or something, eh?
That's insane,
And he was
eh?
already on it.
Knee sliders.
He's
for
such
what?
a talent, that boy, eh? He's
Proper.
really a talent.
So you brought that back here. Obviously now it's difficult because you're obviously focusing on your own palaver overseas and everything.
Yeah.
But how much training that do you do? Have you still got guys that are working here while you're away to carry on the training?
I have some top riders, They don't work for me like permanently, but if I need them to go for a session, I can phone them and then they'll go do a session for me,
Yeah.
But all the training that I learned was from David Salom's school.
Superbike rider,
He's
eh?
world champion.
Yeah.
World
Yeah,
champion.
Yeah.
So I went to his school and I raced for him for 2 years.
Okay.
So while I was racing for him, he just trained me flat out, for those 2 years. And everything
What a
I
gift.
learned, I just brought back home.
Yeah.
Now I was there for 2 weeks and I was doing more training with him. I only just got back from training with him again. So I've keep getting more knowledge about the cone work, and as far as I know, I think we're the only people that actually offer that.
Well, you're the only people I've seen. I mean, here locally, that we've got superbike schools and that, and they all do a great job. California Superbike School will change your riding and that, but there's nothing like this. I mean, this is, and I've seen it in MotoGP videos and all sorts. But that cone work and that was the first time I've seen it, and it's so much more difficult than you think it is.
No,
It's
I
insane.
mean that to me. I mean, I can only imagine that the next step to be a helmet on the top.
Yeah,
You've
we've
done that a few
we've
times.
actually done that. Hey, I'm not gonna
for you.
joke.
I mean, there's a few rookies
But,
amongst us.
To be honest, the cone work just takes your riding to another level, and it's so much tighter than what people think.
Yeah,
I mean, I've had kids been able to do figure of 8 in 2 meters.
No.
that's crazy.
And like if you think about it, that's not a
No.
it's not a big distance to do a figure of
No.
18, eh?
Yeah.
And they're doing it properly, elbow down,
No,
everything right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's all the fundamentals are there because it's body positioning, it's throttle control,
Everything.
everything else.
And then once you get onto the big track from doing the cone work, it's easy because you've done it around little cones.
yeah.
And also when you're doing it around cones, I can stand there and I can see exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
And point
So
out.
I can be like, no, you need to pull your body like this, do your head like this, exactly. Where if I look at a picture, for example, could be a fast turn or slow
Yeah, you
turn. I
don't know
don't
when
actually,
the turn
I don't
is
actually know.
happening.
I don't know which lap this was. I
Sure.
can't compare to the other laps. Even when you ride on a big track, it's completely different because I can't stop you and talk to you every lap.
yeah.
I can only
sure.
stop you and talk to you at the end of the session, And by that time, I've already forgotten half of the stuff I wanted to say.
All the bad habits are already embedded in the guy, and
Yeah.
now it's going to take him a session to
Where
break
if
it.
we're doing cone work, you can do 2 laps. I can stop you. I can say, do this, do this.
Yeah.
You can do 1 more lap. I can stop you. You know, we can work on it as the laps
Yeah,
go
it's
by.
progression.
Yeah.
You kind of stop down classroom session, back on track.
Yeah.
but just
Yeah,
in
exactly.
your
And
face.
it's just, for me, that's what changed my riding.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember going to Aragon in 2017 and qualifying 22nd. And then after that race, I went to David for like a week. I did cone work. The second race, I was leading in Assen a week later.
Yeah.
So
And
as
I gained like 2 seconds, you know. It was
It's
crazy.
yeah.
So as a person sitting at home, they surely need to know also, what does it improve specifically? Why does it improve your time so much? Is it just the full-on understanding of where you can put your body next to the bike, your body position, the you know, what really changes so drastically?
So the biggest change is it gives you confidence, because I also explain to you why you're doing certain things.
Yeah.
So if I say to you, you need to put your arm like this, I can explain to you why. And if you ever have that issue, if I'm like, if you don't do this, this will happen. If you ever have that issue, you can be like, oh wait, I remember you said this, this is how you fix it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And also it's saddle time. You do so much riding, and once you leave that session, you know exactly what your faults are and how you've improved.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
Very
it's a big
informative,
improvement.
guys.
So where do you do this stuff? Like, 'cause
So-
you said like big circuit, it's difficult. So you're obviously working in a small area. So where are you carrying out?
I
the
used to do it at the Rock Raceway,
Okay.
but now I do it at the new Formula K Raceway.
That place looks proper.
That place
we
is
haven't
so
been
awesome.
there. Cliffy,
No.
we need to go there. We
Yeah.
actually got an
I've gotta be
invitation
honest.
to go there.
I've got to
3
be
weeks ago,
honest,
but then we-
that's the only track I ride at now. I ride
Yeah.
there Monday to Sunday. They've got something like 30 tracks if you change the directions.
Oh wow.
There's everything you want in a track there. You can do so many laps a day. I mean, I went there today and I must have done 100 laps, and I was there for like 3 hours.
Still looking fresh.
Yeah, it looks fresh.
This
eh?
is what training in a good diet and professional motorcycle
60
racing looks
60
like,
odd
ladies and gentlemen. If this is what you aspire to, it's this.
I look fresh, but I'm actually quite dusted. I'm not going to lie. I'm actually quite tired.
Well, that's amazing. I hope you're not tired with us yet. If people at
No,
home
that's
want to get in
perfect.
touch with you, where do they find you? Where do they follow you?
On my Instagram or my Facebook?
Which is what?
My Instagram. Can I look quickly?
I'm not going to stop it. This is
Sorry,
live web
guys.
series, so we're not going to stop the talent from giving you guys at home information.
It's just Dorren 20.
And that's to follow your
This
race.
is what happens
That's to
when you
follow
have
my
a
racing.
PR team looking
And,
after your affairs.
And if they want to get in touch with me by email, it's just dltrainingschool@gmail.com.
So for the racing side, just what's it? Dorren 20.
Just Dorren 20, yeah.
And then,
It's
yeah.
short and simple.
And then email, it's what's it? Dorren Loureiro training.
No,
eh?
DL Training School.
DL Training
DL Training
School.
School @gmail.com.
Oh, now you remember all the things. If you can find him on Facebook, there's about 4 pages. Go like, share, and follow this young man.
There's a
and be
few.
in
There's a
touch.
few.
We're
So-
looking very forward
we are.
to your season. We've got Christopher also saying, your mate Christopher.
Oh, Chris.
Hi, Chris. Just asking a question. You know, you've got your mindset this year. You seem very amped. You seem very confident. We're all backing you heavily from this side. Any plans above and beyond 2020 so far, or are you just keeping that at a distance for now?
I've been speaking to some teams to go upper class, you know, but it's a little bit difficult, and we have to just focus on this season.
Sure. I mean, it's
Once, because you never know, I could start this season and be finishing 20th. You don't know, or I could
Yeah.
start the season and be winning.
hard.
And it all depends from there, because more rides may come,
Yeah. Sure.
and you know, you have to just take it day by day.
100%.
Normally by September, October, November, like more or less, then you start knowing
What's going to happen?
what's going to happen.
Silly season open.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when crazy things happen.
You see, it's not a flaky thing on MotoGP. They make it sound super interesting. It's a real thing.
I mean, this year I only got this right in December. I
Yeah.
thought I wasn't
It's
racing.
cutting it fine, eh?
I honestly thought I wasn't racing.
So
And
I need to
I'm
ask
happy
you
I
a
am.
question. Just what, as a rider sitting in a position going into December festive season, but not knowing if you've got a ride coming Jan, how does it make you feel? And do you have the ability to switch off and enjoy family time?
to be honest with you, it was a horrible time for me, not knowing what's going on, because always before I would have signed the contract during the season already. Towards the end of the season, I'd already know what I'm going to do.
Sure.
But all I did was kept training, eh? I went like, kept my same training program throughout the year.
What was the delay? Because like, I mean, if you
So-
say that you'd normally sign by now, there must have been some sort of issue. That was it funding from the team? What was the
There was a little bit of a funding issue,
Okay.
and also there wasn't a lot of seats available.
Yeah.
because I was going to ride for another team, and then the team sponsor pulled out, and that team disappeared.
Yeah.
That team wasn't happening anymore.
Yeah.
And then all the other seats were taken.
Yeah.
And then
panic stations.
and
I
then-
would die.
the one rider in the team I was in now, something happened as far as I know. So that spot opened,
All right.
and then I got that ride.
So it was like touch and go. Eh?
Yeah,
You were
it
like-
was-
you were
It's
like-
the universe
I
playing in your favor.
honestly thought I wasn't racing. You can like ask all my friends and everyone. I was like, I'm not racing.
just playing a
I was
Bafana
like,
day.
I'm gonna train for 2020 and 2021 try again. That was honestly what was going on in my head.
That's devastating.
And when I got the ride, I was over the moon. I still am.
Good.
I'm still
We're
so
over
pumped
the
up.
moon for you.
So have you earmarked this season any tracks where you expecting to go well? I know you got on a podium a couple of years back in the UK.
Donington Park, for me, I don't know why. Every year I go there, I do good. I've
Okay.
never ever gone there and had like a bad race, except for last year, but that was because I got taken out.
Touch wood,
I
touch
feel
wood.
Yeah,
like Dina
touch
also
wood.
said that about Donington
Yeah,
Park.
it
last
seems
year.
I don't know why,
it's
It's for me. I think it's because a lot of the European riders don't go and do a lot of laps there.
Yeah.
So when they go there, it's a little bit more even. But like now, for example, I know of some people who's been at a RET for 3 tests of 2 days or 3 days each.
Yeah.
I haven't even gone there yet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
By the time I get there, they've got so much data and everything and track time on us.
Yeah.
And then it's not easy to be with them because by the time they're learning more stuff,
Yes.
So that's like where the difficulty comes in.
And different in climate because here in South Africa, the way we race is we race through the winter. So we hardly ever see rain, and at club level, as soon as there's a few spots, everyone hides in the boxes. I'm not going to go out. I'm not going to
Yeah,
go
I
out.
know.
But with you don't have a choice. And there's like Donington, there's always a good chance it could rain. You've qualified in
Puddling.
snow.
There's
The
puddling
snow,
in
every-
Donington.
Donington last season for me was where I realized I'm actually not a bad wet rider.
Okay.
I used to
Great
have
in
like
Europe.
good wet days and bad wet days. I don't know if that makes sense. Like
Sure.
I would either be 3 seconds off
Or
or I
3
would be
seconds ahead.
point 1 off, or like
Yeah.
in front. And Dino is very fast in the wet also. So it's the South Africans can ride in the wet. People mustn't underestimate us.
Yeah.
Even though we don't get a lot of track time, it's weird. You can adjust, but it takes some time.
And what is the adjustment? Like for someone now, like for me, like every time it rains, when you stay on my Ducati, that if it looks
Yeah.
like it's going to rain, I'm not going to crash, whatever. So for me now, that says I've got very little wet weather experience. What would you say is the best adjustment, or what's the key elements I should look at when riding in the rain?
So the key element is to keep the bike up and to
Okay.
get your body off a lot. And you need to trust the tires a lot because they can give you so much more grip than what you think.
Yeah.
I
It's a
mean,
mindset.
It's crazy. Like you can go in there, you can brake as hard as you want in a straight line, as long as you don't trail brake.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can go and you can brake flat out in a straight line and late and hard. I mean, in the wet, I was backing it in, and I didn't even know you could do that.
Well, you didn't
It
even
was-
try.
it
That's
was
the
such a-
best of it. I
and
didn't
to
know
be
how
honest,
to do that. You
I
didn't
wa-
even try to do it. You just
It
did
was qualifying, and I was like, I saw one guy come past me and he braked there, and I was like, I'm gonna do the same. And I braked there, then I was like, you can actually go more because I'm still not having like much movement. So you need to trust the tires and make sure you always brake in a straight line.
That's good
Never,
advice.
never, ever brake leaning over.
That's good
No.
advice.
Because if you brake leaning over,
That's you done.
and also the tire pressure has to be a bit higher, because as soon as it's softer, the grooves close when you brake and it becomes a slick,
Yeah.
and then you tuck the front. So you want to make it hard enough that those grooves never
Stay
close.
separated.
Yeah, they have to stay separated,
It's very
and that's why you can
interesting.
brake in a straight line because they won't. There's
There's
those
no
two,
flex.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no flex, But as soon as you lean over and those lines close, you're gone.
That's a very interesting.
So that's
talk.
where the
such
that's
a
where
good
the
That's
issue
why,
point.
comes in.
that's why I bring boys like us on the show.
This is
eh?
why I bring you on the
Hey,
show,
I
because
just
you're
learned
just
something
the
new.
clever one asking all the right questions. Good, guys. We're almost done with the show. We just needed to do a good interview with this young man. Good
Thank you
luck
so
for your
much, guys. I
season.
really appreciate it.
No, hundreds, man. It was a very, very enlightened session. Eh?
Yeah,
I
look,
had
feel
fun.
better
Thank you
all
guys
for
so
it.
much. Thank you so much.
International guys that come and make us look like. Thank you so much, Dorren, for coming
Awesome,
on
guys.
to the show. We're
Thank
gonna
you so much.
play a little video clip to get this person out of the studio. Next up, we've got number 26, Cameron Aitken joining us. He's
Yeah.
talking Zontes,
Yeah, he's a Zontes man now.
the Zontes Factory rider. As we know, he's very fast on that number 26 Zontes 300.
Yeah, I've heard. I was speaking to him now outside, and he's feeling confident for the season, eh?
I think he should. He kind of
No,
did a
he's feeling
whitewash
confident
at
for the
Red
season.
Star a few weeks ago with the rest of us.
No, I
so-
think he can. I think he can have a good season, eh? And I've raced against Cam since I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
I started racing against Cam, and he's a very strong rider.
He's a talented, very fast.
He's
man,
very underrated,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Absolutely.
He might have gone through like, a bad season or two a while ago when he didn't have a lot of rides and things, but he's got talent, eh?
Yeah.
People need to actually see that.
Well, he definitely showed us that at that first weekend at the Zontes.
It
He
was a
cleaned up.
no-brainer.
No, he
I
was
mean,
quick, eh?
he whitewashed the whole. I mean, even Greg Halnais couldn't keep up with him.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
it,
and that's a
right?
big
If it
name,
doesn't
That's
say
a big
enough,
name.
Greg, we love you, good one.
But I've got to say one more thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fast South African riders that are underrated. I mean,
100%.
the talent in South Africa is unbelievable.
Name drop for us. Who
Yeah,
do you think?
please.
Who can you
name-
tip for the future?
If you had to combine a team of 5 riders that doesn't have
Whew.
an international rider.
That doesn't have an international
Yeah.
ride.
Yeah.
Blaze Baker,
Okay.
100%.
Yes.
Q Snyman.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say Clint Sella, hey? Also.
I think Clint Silla, he had a rough time in the AMA, but he's
I would say
definitely
Clint
a talent.
Sella. Who else? Monocle, I would say, is one.
Yeah.
I would say he's also very underrated.
Sure.
And I had a
Fast,
name now.
eh?
I had a
Give
name
us
now.
a youngster. Give us a youngster.
I had a name in my head now. I said Ricardo Otto, hey?
You haven't.
Yeah.
Ricardo Otto was the one. Ricardo Otto.
There you go,
He's
Ricardo.
Ricardo Otto, 100%.
One day when he's running his own team, you should go race.
Loureiro endorses this message. That's his top 5.
Awesome.
I think that's a talented bunch, eh?
Yeah, proper.
100%.
Awesome. Thank you
Awesome,
so
guys.
much for joining
Thank you
us.
so much.
Before you go, obviously you can see Mr. Rob Portman's not in studio with us. He's returned from his trip from Spain, testing some Messler tires and some R1s and all kinds of yummy bikes.
I
I
hope
saw.
they tested him at the border before he came in. Eh?
Well, that's a big thing. The unfortunate
That's
reality
an
is
issue.
that the Right Fast editor is in town, but he's not available to come onto the show. So he made us a video. And remember to catch Right Fast magazine March issue. There's a good write-up of the Monocle series and the SBK. We'll touch on those 2 series after the break.
I hope he had his
See you guys.
mask on.
All of us.
He clearly shaved his beard, so we don't know.
Good evening, Raceday TV and Hanging Cable Show race fans. It's Rob Portman from Ride Fast Magazine here, just catching up with your weekly updates. Qatar MotoGP for this weekend has been cancelled officially. Moto2 and Moto3 races will be going on, but the MotoGP race has been cancelled. What does that mean? I've had a lot of people asking me, but it's been scrapped. Qatar MotoGP round will not happen. It will not be replaced. It will not be postponed or anything. It is gone. Round 2 in Thailand, however, has been postponed. So that will happen later on in the year. So that race will happen, just not at round number 2. Let's hope that the season does kick off at round number 3 in Kota, America on the 5th of April. Please, coronavirus, just get lost now. We've had enough for you, man. So yeah, unfortunately not going to get the chance to go down to Qatar and watch Brad in action and the MotoGP bikes in action under the lights in Qatar for the first time ever. But no worries, a good substitute is to go down to Port Elizabeth for round 2 of the Monocle Racing Series and race a beautiful Ducati South Africa World of Motorcycles V4R machine. So that's a brand new race bike for myself and my brother. My brother will be racing in the Bots race and I will be contending in the very competitive Superbike race there. So let's hope that I can bring home a trophy, because my boy just keeps asking me for a trophy and I haven't brought one home just yet. So he thinks Dad is slow. That's got to change. So that's happening this weekend. Also very exciting for all Cape Town MotoGP fans and Brad Binder fans. That right there, BB33. He is coming to Cape Town. So instead of racing in Qatar, he's come back to South Africa. And this Saturday, the 7th of March, he will be at the Bloberg Hotel from 1 o'clock. So check out the Ride Fast magazine page. It'll be shared all over Facebook, so you can't miss it. But this Saturday, the 7th of March in Cape Town, meet and greet with Brad Binder and buy some official brand new merchandise there. Next weekend, Brad will also be down on Sunday in Durban, KTM Durban down there. So 2 weekends of Brad Binder meet and greets. Do not miss out. Cape Town Durban, you've begged for it, you now have it. So well done to Sean Meredith, everyone from Smashton Industries, and of course Ride Fast magazine for making that happen, and of course Brad himself for taking the time out to do that. Next weekend in Durban, Dorren Binder will be there as well, so a real treat for you Durban fans. Unfortunately, Dorren will be racing in Qatar this weekend, so he won't be there. And then of course next weekend as well is round 2 of the SASBK Bridgestone Championship, Bridgestone Challenge and Bridgestone Superbikes. So really excited for that. That's going to be a humdinger. If round 1 is anything to go by, round 2 is going to be absolutely epic. So look out for that. And until next week, I'll catch up with you later. And Cliffy Ogle, just one question. Why is there a Kawasaki number 95 ZX10 for sale on Facebook? What's happening there, man? Let us know. Until next time, guys, keep well, ride safe, but ride fast. Ciao.
The joys of online viewing. Welcome back to Raceday.tv and myself, Keith Boytz and Cliffy Ogle. And this young man, number 26, Cameron Aitken. Hi, man.
Yeah, hi. I'm grateful to be here. It's a good opportunity. And yeah, I look forward to chatting with you guys a bit.
Yeah, good. I'm going to hand you over to my esteemed colleague there because
Yes.
I need to speak to the people in Facebook land.
So we're talking now with Dorren Loureiro, and he tipped your name and pulled out of the hat there as a top 5, and he says he's been racing against you for years. So where did it all start? Where did you start racing? How did the bug bite, and where are we going?
Well, I mean, my grandfather was a dispatch rider in the war. My dad raced, and my brother raced before me, and then I came onto the scene. My mother wanted me to do piano classes,
Fair enough, Mom.
but my dad put
Sorry.
me on a bike, and I was really good from the get go. So we worked and worked, and then I started on an oval track on a dirt track with a PB50. From there I went to pocket bikes, NSF 100s, CBR 150s, Kawasaki 250s, the KTM 390 class, the 600cc class last year at the Monocle Championship, which
you won.
I ended up winning. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a great season.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mono Racing and Vic Rich for that one.
Yeah, well done. That
Yeah,
was
I
a
really
good team
appreciate
effort.
it.
Really
Was.
good.
And now onto the Zontes 300, which I
Cool.
can't express enough how well I gel with the bike. It's perfect. I love it. The team is perfect. We work well together, and it's a good package.
That race weekend, can I answer?
Yeah, jump in,
that-
please.
You started on the back of the grid. You weren't able to be there for combined qualifying over Friday, and we didn't have it on the Saturday. So you started race 1 from the back of the grid. And I remember hauling, it's the first real start we had on these bikes, and I started at 11, so I had a good pack of guys in front of me. Got into turn 1, and all of a sudden just doop doop. And it was this purple, I think you were wearing a purple and orangey kind of suit, right?
Yeah, close to
Yeah.
a Rossi blue.
But I knew it was you. And I was just like, he's hiding a turbo in there somewhere. How do you manage to go with that bike so fast? Like, if you had 5 tips for any person, including myself and all the other Zontes riders, 5 easy tips to get around that track or use that bike, please share your wealth of knowledge.
Number one, and first and foremost, is to have a little bit of gas all the time. It does on a tiny bike. It's all about the momentum.
Yes.
It's not like a 600 where you can stop the bike,
And
get on
then-
the gas and turn it and go. You have to carry the momentum. So if you can crack the gas halfway through the corner or a tenth or two before the guy in front of you, you'll catch him and pass him.
Every time.
I would say body position, to be one with the bike instead of leaning off too far. Again, to keep the momentum. Number 3, the tire pressures on the smaller bikes. The tire pressures are key to carry the corner speed, and hence again the momentum.
What pressures were you running? Because those are running R11s. What tire pressures were you running on your bike?
I'm really not sure on that.
Okay.
That's my technical side.
No, fair enough.
That's team answer for we're not allowed to tell you.
No.
Secret.
It's a fun series. We all share data. It's not like that. It's a good series.
It's a wonderful series. We had the best day.
Yeah, it was
But
fun.
yeah, I mean, just getting back to your racing, you as a rider, you are phenomenal. You know, you did really well last year with Vic Rich and the racing team in Monocle. You changed over to Zontes. You know, what are you trying to achieve this year? What's your goal?
I think this year most definitely is to win the Zontes 310X Championship. I'm a factory rider now for Zontes, so shout out to Zontes South Africa for
Nice.
that. And Zontes World, yeah, shout out to that. So yeah, we're going to put in a good effort and we're going to go for the championship. I'm also looking at getting a super motard to do some training on with that for this year, and to do that full time next year, along with partnering with Zontes again, hopefully, and carrying the momentum, yeah.
So you'd look to stay in the Zontes umbrella and do it for a couple of seasons, or not looking to just take? I mean, it's still early days. We've only had one race, but if you take the championship in the Zontes Cup, you'll look to defend it, or would you look to jump on and go 600 again, or go thousands, or what's the plan?
Ideally, I would like to defend it.
Okay.
I would like to go back to back on the championships, barring I do win this year.
Fair enough, yeah.
I would like to go next year and do the same thing.
Okay.
I love the bike. I don't see a need to part from it at the end of the season, unless another opportunity comes up with Zontes. We might take that on, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But as of now, I don't see any other future for myself besides being with Zontes.
And then you say you're looking to go motard racing and that. Would you join the SA Superbike magazine series? Is that the plan?
Short circuit, yeah.
Yeah, I would. It's a great series. I love it. Every time I go there, sometimes I ride the Zontes in the clubman's class. And I really enjoy it. It's good fun, and I think if I can get onto a supermoto, it will be just as fun, and it's a ball. I love it. Yeah, I would look to join there, most definitely.
So probably SM1, eh?
Of course.
Yeah, you see, that's
proper,
where all the
eh?
fast, real crazy riders go and express their feelings with motorbikes, I feel.
Yeah, and I mean, crazy is an understatement for that class. If you look at turn 1, at Swartkops, it was hairy.
If you've not been there while the short circuit guys are racing, do yourself a favor, get to a track. I believe they're doing one the 21st of this month.
Vereniging karting circuit.
I'm actually going there.
Me too.
I'm actually riding that day. Are you also riding?
I'm not riding. I'm just going to go watch you, Keith.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know I was watching, but I know now.
I'm actually doing one. The Pinars invited me to go do a ride there, and SM2. What's it?
The motard.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's
nice.
We look forward to seeing that. That'll be good.
Yeah, I like how you are. I'm just going, but we'll see how that goes and bring you some feedback. Just to get back to you, so I just want to hit back because we're talking about the build-up for Monocle that's happening in PE this coming weekend. Did you race there last year?
I did. It was a bit of a struggle, but nothing we couldn't ride around. And that's the mentality I've liked to ride with my whole life. If there's a problem,
fix it.
And we've never had a huge budget. We've never had suspension engineers and tire what and whatever else that they may come with it. So if there's a problem, we do our best to ride around it.
When you say problem, are you saying problem in terms of budget, or are you saying problem in terms of riding on issues that are on the bike?
Oh no, I would say definitely on the bike. I mean, if the bike doesn't turn and there's no one around to help us, we make the bike turn.
Sure.
We get off a bit more or see if we can back it in a bit more.
Yeah.
But we'll make the bike turn.
So you're definitely an improv rider. You can make the worst bike work to your benefit, or just understand what the bike wants to do, what it needs.
I think I've got a very, very good understanding of a feeling on the junior bikes. I say junior. I mean the smaller bikes, the 300s and stuff. If we look at the weekend, I didn't do the qualifying. I got there on the Saturday and I launched it. I got a perfect start. My first time starting with a bike, and I gelled with it perfectly. So
you were really quick. Well done for that. We wish you all the best for the season and your career coming up. This is definitely a hot shot looking for a ride next year if he's not riding with Zontes. Like we said earlier, very underrated for South African.
Even if guys want to get involved, support the man with motards. So I think that would be a good investment and something good to watch, So if you guys have got a few bucks lying around outside there, don't worry too much about Zontes because he's factory already. Congratulations! But
thank you so much.
Let's get the guy. Let's get a bit of backing behind him on motards, and let's see how he goes there. Because I think he'll be a man to watch on the short circuit.
Yeah, look, I mean that opens up a whole new opportunity and a whole new ball game for you over there. So we wish you all the best of luck. I think also we got a bit more detail last week about the deals and the sponsorship packages that are available for the Zontes Challenge and the Zontes Cup. So get in touch with them. Do you know who the contact people are? John?
You can speak to John or Yaku at Zontes SA. They are at all the major race events. Even if we're not riding, we'll be out there in full force in our colours with some bikes on display.
Absolutely.
Whoever's interested, if you are in the market for a new bike, I do recommend a Zontes. It's perfect. The power delivery it's good. It's aesthetically pleasing.
The package is perfect.
Yeah,
I can't fault it.
Like I said, aesthetically pleasing because when you start the bike, this little transformer comes up on the dash. Proper.
Your electronic screen's right there. No, it's wonderful, guys. So get involved. There's a lot of riders that need sponsorship in the Zontes 300 series this year. You can also sponsor a motorbike and have them put a rider on the bike for you if you just want to get your marketing or your company out there. We'll be covering a lot of it and making sure you get your return on investment. One unfortunate thing aside from this that I need to speak about is Monocle. Monocle Series Round 2 in P this weekend. We are not 100% sure if we will be there or not. We are trying to secure some funds. Everything costs money in life. So we've done everything we could. We're leaving it up to you guys. If you want to get involved, we'll give you nice branding. But so we are pushing to be there and do the live stream for this weekend. Did you enjoy the live streaming of the previous Monocle? Did you see it?
I did. I think it was quite professional.
Just a quiet Henk, there's a 10%.
It's a bit of work that needs to be done there, some tinkering.
No, it was perfect. I think a lot of riders got good mentions, which most of the riders have never had before. I mean, the TV coverage and the live streaming and stuff of the racing is something quite new to our
Sure.
Well,
Yeah.
not new, but we haven't had it in. It's been a struggle to have that.
Yeah.
And now having you guys in there, it's really, really great. Doing interviews in the pits and getting some exposure for the riders, it's a good thing.
We are also definitely releasing some onboard footage of you in your first race. That will be coming out this week, so make
Great
sure
stuff.
you get it on
Great stuff.
raceday.tv. Just on the Monocle thing, there's a few big hitters. Sean Portman, Rob Portman on his new Ducati,
Yeah, he's got
because
his
now
own
he's
bike,
not
yeah.
going to Qatar, so he's actually racing his new bike for the first time this weekend.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And the bots. I'd be keen to see what Mo does around the PE circuit with that Ducati.
Yeah, also Alan Holscher as well. He said
That
when we interviewed him,
man
he likes the coastal tracks.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a guy to watch as well.
I think those bots around the coastal tracks are quite powerful.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's a guy that's also on his brand new Ducati, Mr. Number 27
Yeah.
from Liber Racing,
Yeah,
Marius
yeah.
Kukewood, back in town. Welcome back in South Africa,
Hey.
young man.
Yeah.
It's good to have you. But he's doing the SBK next week
Yeah.
in the Masters, I believe. They've signed off on a new rule.
I like that rule, hey? Finally, we're getting guys on the grid, hey?
Just so that you know what the rule is. So Cliffy probably has more detail, so I'm going to speak under correction. The Masters class in the SCA SBK is 35?
35, yeah? So
35
even,
years and
even
you-
we qualify as Masters.
We
yeah?
are it's slow as hell, but we will qualify. But you can also race your Ducati in there.
Yeah, so they've opened it up so it's not just now 1,000 and 600, so there's a bit of provision made for
For the
1100.
Masters. For
So,
the
yeah,
Masters.
for the Masters only. So Ducatis now can come and play. If you're 1100cc, Aprilia, if you want to get involved, you can come and race as well in the Masters. So it's not just limited now to 1,000cc manufacturers. A lot of guys now can enter and come and play as well.
I'd be interested to see if the Monocle bots also, some of them want to go play there. Because, I mean, it's still a national championship.
Yeah,
In effect,
I'm hoping it will. I mean, just for a pure sake of getting more numbers on the grid.
Yeah.
So I mean, the nationals are fast, but there's still a bit of growth that needs to be done, and putting guys like to the mid pack towards the back end of the field. That, I mean, the bots guys still they pedal around a
They are
circuit,
fast.
but it's just more racing for the spectators, for the TV coverage, for everything, and it creates a much better vibe. And I reckon if you get 2 or 3 more guys on the grid, it will bring more. You know, everyone will follow. So I think it's a step in the right direction, to be honest with you.
We'll catch you guys next week and do a pre-show for the National SBK and the ZX10 Masters, the Red Square Masters. Just touching on the Monocle again, because I'm really keen to be there this weekend. I want to see the racing. Who was your highlighted riders from last year who you know is competing this year in the 300 class?
The 300 class. I'm not sure if Chris Wright is competing.
Fast young man.
Very
But
fast.
he blows me away every single time he rides. He's incredible.
Yeah.
Have you ever raced against him?
In the NSF 100s, but the pace was different between him and I, so I can't judge. But I saw him when I raced the Zontes at the Clubman's at Swartkops at the first Superbike short circuit round. Chris was there on his 150. He was, and it was incredible. I've never seen anybody ride a 150 like that. So
Very fast,
I would
young
say
man.
he's definitely my favorite for this year.
Yeah, Arushan Mudley's light. I hope he's also racing at one of the races, either East London or PE.
Yeah.
And I hope they get him on a bike as well, because he's also very quick.
No,
He
he's
is
fast.
very
Yeah,
fast.
he's
Proper
impressive.
fast.
Where is he? Where else is that little man racing?
I think he's doing short circuit. I
And-
think he is with the short circuit racing and that. And then last year, that was the first time I got a glimpse at him, was down in East London. He raced. Remember, we had that all bike day.
that was amazing.
And I mean, he was very quick. I think he was on 150.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, last year he raced in Spain.
Yes.
In a championship.
That's why I've-
Italy.
Yeah.
It was in Italy.
Oh, okay. So I was under
Yeah,
the
champion-
idea he was
overseas
doing the
championship.
same this year.
Yeah.
There's a lot of actioning happening on
Yeah.
this show. I mean, there's just not enough time
No.
ever, to be quite honest. Guys in PE, just a question. Jeff and Sunay, all the photographers in PE, there's a lot of bikes with Raceday stickers on in your midst and on track this weekend. If you want to enter the competition for the best Raceday picture, please do. Take a picture of a motorbike with the Raceday picture on. We'll select a few, we'll have a public vote, and the winner of that vote will win 1,500 Rand for the photographer and the rider or riders that feature in that photo.
Nice competition, eh?
It is a nice competition, and it's
Wow,
for the
it's not bad.
photographers and
Not
for the
bad.
racers. If you're entering the Monocle series, you're paying 1.5 to enter. You can win it back if you do a nice elbow scrape and make sure there's a photographer on the right turn.
There you go.
There
What's
we
your
go.
most favorite and your least favorite turn at PE? Do you have any of those?
Not really. Like
It's a
I say,
wonderful track,
we ride around the problems. If the corner's bad, we
Make it better.
We make it better.
Cliffy?
Automatic.
You? Have you had experience at PE?
I haven't ridden PE, so I mean, it's last couple of years back we looked and they just resurfaced it, but then it bucketed down with rain, so I was glad it didn't go down. But yeah, I haven't made the trip down. I'm hoping later on in the year, but we'll see how things go.
Yeah, I think that trip is well worthwhile. I think I might find myself on a bike this weekend there at the Monocle series.
Hope for the best. Hope for the
Not
best.
sure yet. We'll see how the sponsors pull through. Hey, guys. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us on the 5th episode of Hanging Cable South Africa with myself, Keith, and Cliffy Ogle. This young man, number 26, catch him on the Zontes. Catch all the action at Monocle Racing this weekend coming up. They'll be there from Thursday at a track day, practicing open track day. Friday, official practice, racing on Saturday. We hope to be there. We're not sure yet, but with your support, we can be there. So make it happen. And yeah, if not, we'll see you guys next week, Tuesday, to talk about the Monocle
Yeah.
post-race report.
Yeah.
And then also the pre-race. We've got
Big
some
one.
SBK
Yeah.
news coming for the national boys. Very exciting news coming. I just got goosebumps. There's a few manufacturers and factory teams pulling closer and closer to the grid.
Finally.
I think it's going to be exciting. I'm getting goosebumps everywhere.
It
It's
literally
wonderful
is.
news for racing. So yeah, thanks for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate
we'll
it.
see
I
you
do
guys
appreciate
next
it.
week. Be safe, be fast, and good racing.
Look at my see-through shirt. Look at my see-through shirt.
We didn't mention it once, but it's wonderful. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.